What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. As you can tell by the title, we're continuing this series today. There was a lot of interest to continue it, and I did leave off on a cliffhanger, so of course we're going to go into it more. We saw how Saiyans keeping their tails affected the first part of the story, and while it may not seem to change much at first, once we get to the Namek arc, it does change a lot. Not just in terms of power or transformations, but in terms of the story itself. For this part, let's hit a like goal of 3,500 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue the series with another part. Anyways, let's pick up from here. In the last part, we ended up with Frieza trying to find Vegeta, eventually arriving to where he is, prepared to fight. After gaining access to the wrathful form for himself, Vegeta feels confident that he can fight Frieza, but actually facing Frieza in person is a whole different animal. The two are both equally angry, with Vegeta utilizing his anger for power. I don't think any words would be exchanged here, the two would definitely get down to business right away. Just as quickly as Frieza arrived, the two clash. Frieza is definitely pretty strong even in his first form, but as of now, in terms of raw power, Vegeta actually surpasses Frieza, by a pretty good amount too. That's mainly due to Wrathful. Due to the power from that form, he's actually holding his own pretty well, eventually gaining a clear upper hand against Frieza. His first form simply isn't enough. And with Vegeta's pure malice for Frieza, he's not pulling any punches. He actually does deal some good damage to Frieza, making the most of his height and power at the moment. But Frieza begins powering up. At first, his second form isn't really doing too much, but it does help close the gap. Once he goes into his third form though, things start to get a lot more even, as he eventually goes into his final form. While this fight is definitely something that they need to take note of, Goku and his group actually see an opportunity. Maybe they can use it to their advantage. Both Frieza and Vegeta are distracted, and that means the Dragon Ball is unguarded. So while this fight happens, they make sure to monitor it while also finding the last Dragon Ball. It's the perfect distraction that they needed. The two parties that they were worried about are now preoccupied, meaning they're able to get the last Dragon Ball. Although, things don't go incredibly smoothly. As they're flying away, Vegeta suddenly senses them, and Frieza notices that Vegeta is acting weird and then sees what's happening. Frieza sees everyone flying away and is angered. He knows what they just did. He aims a finger in the air ready to shoot them down, leaving him open to be attacked by Vegeta. Goku tells the group to go. He'll face Frieza alongside Vegeta. He'll buy them some time while they escape. Nail agrees to join him too to make use of his power, as Gohan, Krillin, and Cargo go to summon Porunga. Frieza knocks Vegeta away and then notices two other people join the battle, Goku and Nail. He doesn't expect much of them, but he comes to see that Goku's pretty powerful, and Nail is no slouch, although he is weaker than the other two. Goku immediately goes into Wrathful, and together with Vegeta and Nail, they actually are a good challenge for Frieza, at least at his current level. Of course, he's not using his full power yet, he's just in his final form. Together, the three are able to face Frieza for a bit until he powers up some more, and they realize that he may be some trouble. Goku tries out something that he hasn't done before, at least something that he hasn't tested in a fight before. Now, he has control over Wrathful completely now, and he has Kaioken, although that's not really easy to control. It would be very risky and very strenuous to him. What if he were to combine the two? Maybe that'll give him a short boost in power that he needs to face Frieza. That's his mindset. He lunges towards Frieza and Wrathful, and just as he attacks, he activates Kaioken for a brief second, immediately turning it off right after. Even for that short period of time, it is incredibly strenuous to use the two together. And he can't really use Kaioken to his fullest because he's barely had training with it due to him focusing on Wrathful, but it does help him, despite how damaging it is to him, and the way he uses it is actually really smart. But still, even with this, it may not be enough. Thankfully though, they're only trying to distract Frieza right now, because on the other side of the planet, Krillin's group is about to summon Porunga. They're successfully able to, and since Cargo and Dende are there, they of course have a translation, being able to actually make the wishes they need. They work quickly so Frieza won't find them and get to their location. Their first wish is to revive Piccolo, and sadly this doesn't bring Piccolo right to them, so they have to use another wish to bring him there. And since they know Goku's group needs help in battle right now, they decide to send Piccolo right over to where they are. That'll be their best option, sending Piccolo straight to the fight, since he offers to do that. As for the third wish, they're not so sure, but they can sense Goku and Vegeta's energy getting lower and lower. So just as soon as Piccolo joins the group, they notice that they fully get healed. Goku and Vegeta completely recover from all their injuries, same with Nail, and all that energy they lost during the battle was restored. Vegeta and Goku actually get small Zenkais from this. It's nothing huge, but it's notable enough to help during the battle, and Goku's is probably bigger due to him using Kaioken and probably injuring himself more than Vegeta was. This is good because it allows Goku and Vegeta to fight together for a short period of time without Nail and Piccolo there, because Nail pulls Piccolo aside with an idea. He tells Piccolo that if they want a chance against Frieza, they may need to fuse. Of course, this is a lot to be thrown on Piccolo at once. I mean, he just got here and now this guy's telling him that he wants to fuse together. He's hesitant, but he realizes that this guy is trustworthy, and what he's proposing may actually turn the tide of the battle. He's been put on the spot and he needs to decide quick, so reluctantly, he decides to fuse. Let's cover some power levels right now. Frieza is at 50% right now, which means his power is 60 million. But there's a catch. He's not going to be at his full capacity because of Vegeta's fight with him before. He still has injuries from that fight, and that did hold him back here. It's not going to hugely turn the tide of the battle, but it's going to be enough to make a difference. As for Goku, he's at 3 million after his Zenkai. That would mean in Wrathful he's at 30 million, and with the Wrathful Kaioken times 2, that would put him at 60 million, making him even with Frieza. As for Vegeta, he's at 2 million in base, with 20 million in Wrathful. But now we have a new addition, Piccolo. Nail had his potential unlocked, making him a lot stronger, which means the resulting fusion between him and Piccolo will be way stronger too. Sadly, he doesn't have any transformation or technique like Goku or Vegeta do. But in base, his power is 6 million, so it's still pretty big, bigger than both of them in base. And he's still going to be very helpful in battle. Collectively, they almost match Frieza in power. And with Goku and Wrathful Kaioken times 2, they actually surpass him. But remember, he can only use that for very brief bursts of power. Otherwise, he'd be able to defeat Frieza right now. And they realize now that they don't really have any other options. Goku doesn't care about damaging his body at this point. If it means they could win, he's going to go into Kaioken again, using it more than before. If he uses it quickly enough, he'll survive, and it'll allow him to get a killing blow on Frieza. But first he needs a good distraction. Piccolo acts as this distraction, using a Makanko Sappo. Hitting Frieza head on with it, it's not strong enough to actually penetrate through him, but it's enough to continuously damage him, annoying the Emperor. Frieza struggles, he tries to deflect it away, but then on both sides of Piccolo, Goku and Vegeta appear. Vegeta launches a Gallic Gun, as Goku does his Kamehameha. Frieza briefly pushes it back, until Goku shouts Kaioken, times 4. For this brief few seconds, his power is at 120 million, way bigger than anyone else and actually matching Frieza's full power, which he isn't at right now. He could feel his muscles being torn apart, but thankfully, he's not going to have to do this for long. Just as soon as he does this, the beam is pushed forward, completely incinerating Frieza alongside Vegeta's Gallic Gun. And with this smart strategy and team up, the three of them killed Frieza together. Vegeta reluctantly joined forces with them, having no real other choice. And he is pretty pissed about the Dragon Balls. But hey, even if he couldn't get them for himself, it was an enemy of my enemy situation. They killed Frieza, so automatically, he's more aligned with them than he is with Frieza. It does leave him in kind of an odd spot though. Was that a temporary alliance, or is Vegeta going to continue this alliance? Only time will tell, but it seems he's calmed down for now, despite being a little bitter. Although he did help get the kill on Frieza, so that kind of strokes his ego a bit. Sadly, Guru did die during the fight due to his stress. But once the Dragon Balls on Earth are used to revive everyone, Guru is briefly resurrected, allowing him to make Mori the new Elder, followed by him passing away once again. But this is good because now Namek has their Dragon Balls. They'll be able to revive the other fighters that are still dead, as well as moving Namek to somewhere different. Namek actually did survive this time, not getting blown up, but they're still going to want to move it somewhere else just to be safe. At least they don't need to find a whole new planet. There is one interesting thing that I want to note about Namek though, a character that'll actually be involved in the series going forward. One that I don't think I've used as a character before, at least not an important one. Now with Nail gone on Namek, there's no really strong warrior. Of course there's a couple warrior Namekians, but no one's on Nail's level, although there is one person that wants to train to be there. Of course, Dende isn't a fighter, but his brother Cargo is actually inspired by everything. He wants to begin training, taking Nail's place as the strongest warrior there. Maybe then, they could prevent future threats like Frieza. Although it's going to be weird training here, and actually, he has somewhere in mind to go. Nail technically still is alive, although he's living on through Piccolo, and Piccolo's on Earth. So maybe, if he ventures to Earth, Piccolo might train him, whipping him into shape as an actual warrior, being somewhat like Nail. He does have Nail's knowledge after all. So he wonders if that's an option. Dende decides to join him too. He wants to see the Earthlings again and he doesn't mind going there, and the other Namekians allow it. Sending 2 Namekians there won't be a problem. And even better, Dende could probably work alongside Kami, learning some stuff from him. They know Earth has a Namekian guardian, and if Dende's gonna go down the same route, it would be nice to meet someone like that. Although he doesn't plan on being guardian of Earth at all, at least not yet. So the two actually venture out to Earth, wanting to see Piccolo again. Piccolo is the strongest Namekian at the moment, and Cargo wants to see if he can do the same. Piccolo is surprised to see the two of them here, but he allows it, although he's going to start very far behind from where he is and where Gohan is, because Piccolo does train with Gohan and Goku a lot. But hey, these two are new friends for Gohan. They're both welcome on Earth, and Piccolo's glad to train Cargo, while Dende actually goes to see Kami. So not only are the other fighters revived, but we have someone training to be a fighter in the future. Out in space, King Cold is trying to find out what happened. He has no idea what happened with Frieza, because Frieza was dead here. And when he went to Namek, it was gone. Not blown up, it was just gone. There were no remains of Frieza, and no trace of him otherwise. It's weird, he can only assume that Frieza actually did die, because he wouldn't just disappear like this. And he wonders who actually did it. Without Frieza, he can't actually find Earth. He does plan to attack it eventually, but right now, that's not going to happen. He tries to find it though, but it's not going to be an easy task, since he doesn't know who killed Frieza and where they even live. but we'll be seeing him down the line, even though he's not doing anything right now. Back on Earth, life actually continues normally. Naturally, next we'll be getting to the Android saga, but first, we're going to cover the future timeline because things go a lot differently there. As you could probably expect, a lot already changed in this scenario. But there's one key change that is actually really helpful in the future. So let's start from the beginning. Goku still dies from the heart virus. In all of my scenarios, I like to assume that Goku got it from how he lives as a kid, rather than getting it from Yardrat because it was never really confirmed. So despite him not going to Yardrat, he's still going to get it here for that reason. Meaning future Goku does die. Eventually the androids do show up. And as you'd expect, a lot of that goes normally. Vegeta is able to put up a much better fight due to having Wrathful, but even then, it's not enough to even face one of the androids alone, much less two of them. He buys some time though. Most of the other fighters end up dying. Piccolo, Yamcha, Tenshinhan, and eventually Vegeta too, but one of them actually ends up escaping that didn't before. Due to Vegeta buying him some time, Krillin's actually able to make it out of there, helping Gohan out of the area too. Plus, Cargo never actually joined the fight. Piccolo thought it was too much for him and wanted to keep him safe. So while they're not all incredibly strong, we have 3 fighters left: future Gohan, future Krillin, and future Cargo. And when Piccolo died, Kami died too, with the androids eventually finding the lookout and attacking it. But before that happened, everyone had a good idea. They made sure to save Dende as well, reuniting him with Cargo once more. Luckily, he's learned enough from Kami, and Kami actually kind of expected this, so they actually had some good preparations in mind. Their idea was to have Dende become the Guardian of Earth if anything happened to Piccolo, which would cause Kami to die as well. Dende is now the new Guardian of Earth, and he's going to be a really helpful asset. Not only can he heal everyone, but he can make new Dragon Balls and a new Shenron, meaning that there is still some hope for this timeline. This gets everybody's hopes up. It's too bad because they can't revive everyone since they already died once, but with the Dragon Balls, they could actually go to Namek and possibly wish for that again. Goku would remain dead, but if they were to get to Namek, they could revive Vegeta, Piccolo, and everyone else. All they need to do is to get the Dragon Balls here on Earth. The issue is though, well, Shenron never died. Kami's plan was good, but there was one mistake. Instead of having Dende make a new Shenron, he passed on the old Shenron to him. This may not seem like a big deal, but that means that they don't have the Dragon Balls on hand. It means they're still scattered across Earth, which is kind of an issue, because that means that they'll have to collect the Dragon Balls again. As long as they're covert about it, it should be okay, but the androids are always watching. This causes an issue later on. One day, Gohan and Krillin go out to find one of the Dragon Balls. However, it seems that they ran into some bad luck, because the androids were watching and followed Gohan and Krillin. They're curious as to where the two were going. Luckily, Gohan and Krillin do notice this and are able to escape, hiding from the androids nearby. The issue is, this leads the androids right to where the Dragon Ball is too. Gohan or Krillin could jump out from hiding and try and grab it, but that would be very risky because the androids could kill them, and the androids are actually the ones to find the Dragon Ball. They notice it nearby, and with what they know from Jiro, they realize what it is. They're surprised to have found one of them. Of course, they don't know how to find more, but they realize this is probably why Gohan and Krillin came here. So, if Gohan and Krillin don't come out of hiding, they'll just take the Dragon Ball for themselves and leave, even if they don't really need it. And who knows, maybe they can end up finding more, getting their own wish. The best option right now is Gohan and Krillin hiding, and the androids eventually do leave with the Dragon Ball. The good thing is that the Dragon Balls are still out there, but the androids have one of them and they need to get that from them if they want any wish. It's a shame because their plan was going so well, but they're still optimistic. Gohan promises to fix everything, and Krillin agrees. They need to get stronger now. They don't even need to be strong enough to kill the androids, they just need to be strong enough to get the Dragon Ball and get out of there. As long as they get that single Dragon Ball from the androids, they'll be fine. They check if Dende can kill this dragon and create another one. Maybe he can just destroy the statue, right? Well, there's an issue. They don't actually have the Shenron statue with them. It's still at the lookout. Thankfully it didn't get destroyed alongside the lookout only got partially destroyed. The fact that the Dragon Ball still exists means that the statue is intact, meaning Shenron is still intact. But without access to the Dragon Balls themselves or the statue, it's going to be a bit tough for Dende to make a new Shenron. It's going to actually take some time. Little side note here, I could realistically just give them the Dragon Balls. But I feel doing it this way makes it more interesting. I mean, if they just made a new Shenron, that wouldn't really be too fun. So yeah, full transparency, sorry if my reasoning is a little convoluted, but I just wanted to spice the story up a bit more. Trust me, I realize it's kind of convoluted too. But just pretend it's good. Just pretend it's okay. Give me this one thing. I just want to have some fun with the future timeline. We're all pals here, right? Just pretend it works. Little tangent aside, now they have a new task. The group needs to get stronger, or find a way to get the Dragon Balls for themselves. But also there is another option. Bulma's working on a time machine. It's going to take a while to complete, but if they actually use that, they can just go back to the past and hopefully restore things that way. And to be fair, even if they do get the Dragon Balls, they won't be able to revive Goku, but with a time machine, they could cure him in the past and possibly revive him that way. Getting the Dragon Balls themselves may be hard. The safest bet right now is to train, so Gohan, Krillin, and Cargo all get to work. If they train enough, they can get the Dragon Balls. And maybe if they're lucky, they could get strong enough to defeat the androids, although it would be tough. But Gohan has a goal for himself. If he learns to use that same wrathful power that Goku and Vegeta had, he could potentially get really strong, especially with his anger, and his potential as a hybrid Saiyan. He wants to make everything right. Even if he can't bring Goku back, he wants to at least fix everything else, defeating the androids, bringing back his other friends, bringing back everyone else that was killed. His mind is set to it. He feels he, Krillin, and Karago can do this. And while Dende may not have the resources to make Dragon Balls right now, his ability to heal will be particularly useful for them. Things may seem grim now, but there's hope. And this is where we'll leave off for now. So, what do you guys think will happen in the future? Once everything here is concluded, how do you think it'll affect the past? I want to hear what you guys think since we have a lot of interesting options going forward, and your input will help me craft a more enjoyable story. Leave any thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part to the series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.